We're live. So today I might be in the mood to play with trolls. So if there's any trolls in the building, today's topic is attracting healthy female relationships. So I'm going to be talking about this from a very different angle. So this is not, I don't know what people are doing. The masses are weird. A different kind of weird. We're all weird, frankly. So, hi there. I'm here every weekday, 8 a.m. for women gods who have always been different, who have very distinct work to do, who have never fit in, who have been called too much, whose very presence triggers folks, who are very big naturally. And we squashed ourselves because as we became older and older and older, we were told directly and indirectly that who we are is not welcome on earth. So we created personalities to get along, to get a man, to get a job, to have people around and people who we call friends, people who never see us, all that. And some of us do really well in corporate that way, right? Or in our business. And then at some point, it all becomes too heavy. Usually, somewhere, the energy on planet Earth is different now. So people used to be able to hang in there a little longer. 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Now, because the speed and the raising of consciousness so very quickly and so much change is happening so quick, the tolerance level is lowering for people to be able to handle uh, not having their deep self be met and their deep needs be met. And so somebody said, "You are wife material." I'm all material. That's the bounty here. I'm all material. And that's a whole other conversation about the profound wealth of women like us, the profound wealth. And I know that sounds really good, but you'd be amazed at how many people, even men who want wives, good women, do not actually want wealthy women. They want women who bend to their will. When I say wealthy, I'm not talking about money. And so much of humanity loses out. And I know this is an aside. I'm going to let this aside come here in the center for a moment because it's deeply relevant to the whole collective of the advancement of humanity. So central, the presencing of the full feminine. I know some people like to say divine feminine. Some people like to say, the great mother, however you like to word it, the presencing of a wealthy woman, a full woman that doesn't, cut off parts of her consciousness to be able to exist in a marriage with you. Everybody loses that way, you know? Anyway, so that part is done for now. And so the way I'm going to be talking about attracting healthy female relationships is through the lens of women like us, who I've described here today. Because the way that we go about connecting and expressing and having our deep selves met in relationship is going to be very different than what I see the masses, what's satisfying to the average woman, what's even satisfying to the average spiritual woman. So that's what we're here talking about today. And ultimately, to take this into being active in your life, where it's not just you watching a video, but you actually start to connect with women who want the same thing. Okay. And let me add to this even more. The quality of the relationships that we're building over here is what matters. We met for the first time yesterday for my Speak program, and I opened our meeting. We met on Zoom, and I opened our meeting with that it's about the quality of the relationship, even beyond Speak. It's not just about working together for 3 months inside of Speak to get you into consistency on TikTok and authenticity on TikTok and overcoming fear. It's beyond that. It's the quality of the relationship over the long term and us being met in that relationship in a way that we never have anywhere else. Not with our boyfriends and husbands, not with other women who may see us as friends or we may call friends, but there's a way that, and I'm going to get into it more, that we need to be met because of who we are and the wealth that is unmet in this world, and in the meeting of that and us seeing each other in that, in the relationship, it flourishes. And when we think we're looking for more money or joy or connection or healthy female relationships or love or all these things, this is what we're actually looking for. We're looking for this kind of depth. So what's over here is very rare. It's very unusual. So just a bit about that. So I'm going to talk about it, in a split way, just to uh, illuminate it. So my experience with average women and like your typical spiritual person who's very outward in their spirituality. Outward meaning they still very much depend on external items and um, tangible things to help them connect with themselves, right? So I put that in the domain of average, okay? These are the women who they want the things that normal women want, right? Marriage, and I'm not saying those of us who are different don't desire marriage, but there's a different kind of marriage that it's not the normal traditional marriage. So they want what normal people want. They're very much hooked into 3D conscious, just like how normal people live and how they move and think and act. And, they're just very hooked into that. They want the normal things, they process in a normal way. So when it comes time for them to be in a relationship, the relationship exists like that in a very normal way. They're very okay with surface and staying just maybe a few layers beneath the surface. They acquiesce very easily to the man-made systems that exist on Earth. They acquiesce very easily. They submit very easily. They're perfect for average men, normal men, right? So those are normal women, and so we can never be nourished in those kinds of relationships because they're very satisfied by the basic, by the normal. Okay. And I could talk so much more about that. I'm being mindful of my words because I'm already halfway through my time here. Then you come over to women like us, who we don't think like how everybody thinks. We don't crave what everybody else craves. We weren't the girls who were like, I want to get married with kids when we were 8 years old and 10 years old. We weren't the trajectory that's laid out for humans, like elementary school, the whole school process, go to college, get married, have kids, work a job, retire, die. Like we never even saw that for us. We checked out when we were young, with the normalcy of living, and we were, called the rebels. We've been called the black sheep. The normal girls are never called black sheep. Those are the good girls. That's who men call good women because they cooperate with what men want them to do. Normal men, average men, men who have great purpose, they don't want that. They want a woman who her very presence lifts him. Her very presence challenges him. He has his purpose and manhood develops with her presence. The normal girl doesn't even satisfy him. She's more like a servant in the like cook and clean kind of role, you know. And so when a man is truly about purpose that is transcendental, that is of a sincerely high order, not because he's trying to feel like he's high and significant, but when he really submits to the high order on his life, he needs a woman like me, women like us. And so that's a whole other conversation. So these are the difference between the two women. So you can see that when it comes time for us to be in really nourishing, deep, rich, powerful, potent relationships, we're not going to desire the same things. We're not going to be satisfied by the same things. Okay. Thank you for liking the live, folks. And so I lay that down so we can you can see how I'm going to be talking and addressing her very differently. And now we put her to the side because she's completely irrelevant right now. I may pull her up again in the interest of juxtaposition, but now we can talk about women like us. Yes, they can truly grow with. Hey, Mesta, welcome in, darling. I'm glad you're back. So, when it comes to attracting healthy female relationships, I'm talking about women like us. Okay. Now, Mesta, question yesterday is what has inspired this topic. And my response to Mesta yesterday was when she said how to attract healthy female relationships, my first response to Mesta was, well, how's your health? Okay. How's your health? When you start talking about attracting anything, money, relationship, better weight, etc., are you being the very thing that you're saying that you want? So when I asked you, Mesta, yesterday, I said, are you emotionally mature? Now, this is not about perfection, right? However, when you say healthy female relationships, are you healthy in the kind of relationship that you want? Okay. When you say healthy female relationships, what does that look like and feel like to you? So when I think about women like us, who, here's some of the hallmarks of women like us. Nobody actually knows the depth of us. Okay. Uh, we've never been seen for who we really are as these beings who have always been different and the actual value of that difference. See, a lot of us talk about being different, but we haven't talked about the value. A lot of us harbor some shame about being different because the world has made it a shame. Your mom made it a shame. Friends made it a shame. Um, you know, uh, Boys called you crazy. Like when I was a teen, men would be like, "You crazy." I'd be like, "Let's see." I wasn't the kind of girl that would see. We just don't think so. I wasn't the kind of girl that was like boy crazy, and how girls would act in high school or middle school around boys and all of that. I'll be the kind of girl to be like, "Hey, y'all, let's go have dinner," to a group of them. Like, let's go have dinner. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like, "You crazy," because most men, they only see women as sexual things to give them food and do what I want you to do kind of thing. They don't, most men don't see us as holistic beings, right? So, uh, being called crazy when you're a teen, or I know many of us have had ex boyfriends be scared of our power. Like, what? Right? Then your mom is uncomfortable with your power. So she's saying stuff to you when you're 12 and 17, and right? All of that is going on. And other girls who don't like you. I remember being in middle school, sixth grade. I'm at this new school, Martin Luther King Middle School in San Francisco. Sixth grade, I'm brand new to this school. I know nobody here. I've always been into dressing. So I got on my new outfit. I got on my 357 shoes that I'm loving, that MC Hammer's dancers used to wear. Um, and just being me. And by the time I was 12, my breasts were pretty developed as well. Okay. And oh, I think we got a troll in the building. What's up, Daddy O? Daddy O, bring it on, cause I'm in the mood. When I got on here this morning, I said I think I'm in the mood for some trolls. Come on, Daddy O, come on. Yes, we gonna play with this energy round here. Come on, you with that green photo. Come on, come on. I'm in the mood. So, you know, these variety of things, right? Fill in the blank with what yours has been. What's some of the what's that new more order? Hey, upper, all y'all, tell me what's some of the things that people have said. I'm gonna be here for some time. Tell me some of the things people have said to you, however far back you want to go. Maybe when you were 7 years old, 12 years old, 22 years old, or 30, 35. Things people said to you that to try to shoot down what made you different, or uncomfortable with your sensual self rising, or like straight up, I've told this many times. I had an ex-boyfriend. I woke up one day and he was just sitting there on the edge of the bed as if he was like watching me sleep. And you waking up, and and he struck up a conversation, and I'm waking up, finishing waking up, and I turn over and he's talking, and I'm like kind of responding, not really yet because I'm still waking up. And then he looks at me and he's like, You're powerful. And that scares me. I was like 27 at the time. And this dude was like 12 years older than me. So what's some of the things that you guys have heard? I see you ain't put me on the screen. You need to come better. You need to come better. You need to come better. See, the thing about trolls is, troll, hey troll, for us to really have fun though, it's different levels of fun. But to have the kind of fun that I want to have, you got to be able to actually say things that I'm interested in. Otherwise, I feel like I'm doing this to you. I feel like I'm doing this. And maybe you like that. You like that? If you want to be like this, then your frequency got to come up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't think. All right, fine. So all that stuff accumulates inside of your psyche. You'll forget a lot of this stuff, right? It'll get pushed down. But what'll happen is when you start wanting to produce powerful results in your life, attracting healthy female relationships, now you want to come up and talk about certain things and build out an online platform that's powerful. You want to just you want change, whatever the change is for you. You want to move to another country. You want to create more money than you ever have. You want to, and you're not able to do it, and you can't express the way you want, and you're still acting like a little girl, even though you're 35 years old. You're emotionally stunted. You know what I mean? All of that stuff is happening is because all of the stuff that's been said to you directly and indirectly over the years, it still sits in your psyche and controls you underneath. Okay. So then when you want to come have a relationship, to say what Nesta said about attracting healthy female relationships, when you want to come do that, invisible to you, you have all the stuff back there of you crazy because they called you crazy when you were in the 8th grade. Who do you think you are? How many of y'all heard that one? Who do you think you are? Um, you know, you're powerful and that scares me. Like all that. So then you were like, so then when in doing all that, you start to cut off parts of yourself. I mean that has been me, right? You don't say as much. You don't now you think 5 times before you speak versus letting it be organic speaking. Now you when you walk into an environment, a new job, starting a business, a women's group, any room somewhere, you walk with a kind of tension in your body and you are super doubtful. Yes or no? Yes or no? You still feeling like this, troll? You still feeling like this? I know you trying. I know you trying. I'm gonna give you credit for trying, baby. I'm gonna give you credit. Mester said so much self-doubt, right? And this is what happens, right? When you all that stuff is lingering back there that you completely forgot about. Like Upper Reality said, I can't think of anything right now. I bet you if you were inside of my community, all kind of shit would come up. No, I don't want to kick the troll off. I want him here. I want to give because what he wants is some of the elixir. That's what he wants. He wants the troll is just the opposite side of the divine coin. He wants it. He wants it. Yeah, right. Supply. He wants supply. That's what he wants. Thank you for liking the live. Hey, beautiful Rainy. Glad you're back, baby. Hey, Josephine. Josephine said, you touched on my thoughts and what I've been working to release. Very good. Yay. Hey, Seven, the Luminary. Seven, the Luminary. I like that name, girl. Hey, da 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 da. Hey, Lewis. Thank you for liking the live, Josephine. Hey, 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 hey. Da 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 da. All right. So, you want to be in a healthy female relationship, but are they gonna judge me? Or am I gonna be too much? If you guys saw the video that went up yesterday on my thank you for that heart. Oh, that's so pretty. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody, I just got the number one. Y'all, I don't even know what this stuff means. Somebody just gave me a what? A glitter badge? Thank you, y'all. Let me, I gotta, because the white letters on my sweater is making it hard for me to read. So let me go like that. Now I can read better. Yay! Josephine became the number 6 member on the team. What is that, you guys? I don't even know what this stuff is on here. Okay. You saw the video that I put up on TikTok yesterday when I shared about how, experiences when I was middle school, so withdrew, but then I decided in my early 30s ish that I was going to start connecting again, and then it started happening again where I didn't fit in, right, and all that, right? And the problem with that is you never get the nourishment that you're looking for. I want to talk about nourishment. I want to talk about nourishment for a minute. Because I talk about these things, I think in a way, I don't think, yeah, okay. Let's talk about nourishment, okay? What do you guys hear when I say what you're really looking for when you want to manifest, when you want to love and be loved, when you want to create beautiful things, when you want to be rich, when you want to, and I say what you need is nourishment in your relationships. What do you hear? I'm curious to hear what you hear. I hear calmness. Okay, thank you, Upper Reality. Nourishment to me is enriching and fulfilling. Yes. And what is enriching and fulfilling? Like what does that feel like? What does being enriching and fulfilling allow you to do? See, this is the kind of detail you all need to have within yourself experientially so you can start to understand the necessity of that in your manifestation as a woman, as a feminine being, as a powerful woman. You've always been different. And we're so used to not being nourished. We're so used to it. We're starving and don't even realize it. Psychological safety. Very good, beautiful Ray. I wonder what you mean by that. DC, darling, you need a profile photo. I say this practically every day. If you want to engage, sweetheart, you need a profile photo, okay? Like makes me feel calm when I'm anxious. Yes, that can definitely be there. I feel the love that I'm giving out. Yes. Josephine, do you mean like in the nourishment, you can feel the love that you're giving out? Is that what you mean? And when you say you can, I'm getting chills and like y'all going, y'all here. Amen. Yes, you can feel it, right? And the feeling of it is based on the receiver, right, Josephine? When you say, I feel the love that I am giving out, you feel it based on how the other person is receiving you. I want y'all to catch that right there, with that right there. Catch that. I'm going to get to the where we just were with the nourishment. I want you to catch what Josephine just said there about I feel the love that I'm giving out. In order for Josephine to feel that love that she's giving out, there's a receptivity to you as the receiver. So this puts us into the conversation about being receptive beings. So how many of you push away help, you push away attention, you push away compliments, you downplay them, you push away any kind of support that could be coming in because it doesn't, you are so used to being malnourished, you're afraid of receiving, the list could go on and on. So you are actually doing a disservice to Josephine when you are not receptive to her. So I'll put this within the context of, let's say you come to our first gathering in Atlanta, March 16th. It's a Saturday. It's our first gathering in Atlanta, Women Gods Gather, because one of your priorities is attracting healthy female relationships with women gods who have always been different. Powerful women who are sincere about being in full power, sincere about loving and being in nurturing, inspiring, loving relationships over the long term with women like us who've never fit in and who have always been different. Let's say that's your priority. So we're in the loft. We're in this bright loft. I think we're meeting from like 12 to 8. The calendar, the time is on the website. You can look at details with the link in my bio here on TikTok. And so let's say it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, March 16th, and we are gathered. Maybe we're sitting on the floor because this is going to be a super relaxed experience, very feminine, very spacious, very permissive. Okay. And let's say we're sitting on the floor and we're laughing, we're talking about something. And in my environments, the permission is so bountiful for us to unleash and be who we really are because we're activating your primal self. Every day that we're gathering, it's touching and waking up and nurturing your primal self. That something opens in a woman that has never opened before, right? Let's say you're that woman, right? You're going to open in my environments, which is what you want. You want to be open to receive. You want to be open to give. You want to open to be present with all of life so that you don't narrow your manifestation to it got to look like this because I'm scared of letting in and being a bounty of energy, right? So in our spaces, we're on the floor, our shoes are off, like who knows, maybe it's warm and shit, you might be half naked. Who knows, right? And a woman is activated and opened in a way, and she expresses and pours out in an abundant way to you, in a way that you've never experienced. And the invitation to you in that moment is for you to even open in a way that you never have, so you can receive the pouring from another woman that opens you up, that glistens you, that makes you dewy from the inside. Is this, you see what I'm saying? You could travel, Mesta. You just showed your limitation in thought by saying that. Beautiful said, embracing yourself is such an amazing feeling. It really is. And in this case, your primal self, when we start talking about root self, because then when your primal self has permission, it's the motherboard, if you will. The primal self is the motherboard, and then everything else on top of that that we think we want, joy, bounty, love, abundance, all that. If you're, that's another limitation in thought, Mister. If your primal self, if you're disconnected from that, if you're a rejection of that, if you're keeping that bound, you're not going to get the fullness of any kind of joy that you would feel, of any kind of, even the bad stuff that we don't like to feel. You see? So I'm bouncing around here, and this is lovely. You notice the troll is no longer here, just naturally. See, this is good God. There's already like 3 topics that's like right here in the air right now. He's gone. Bye, baby. Oh. So that happens, and you can't receive the bounty that this woman pours out in the room. You're doing her a disservice because you see that. Who was that? I got to go back to who said that. Josephine. Josephine, she feels the love that she pours out based on your receptivity to her pouring. So if you can't receive the bounty from another woman, right? You can't receive her expression. You see how that's a disservice. So you see how it is in your interest, it is beneficial to you and to her to become a highly receptive being. This is beautiful. And I could talk more on that, but I want to come back over here to nourishment. Does that make sense, y'all? Upper reality say, yeah, that's awesome. Very good. So let's go back to the nourishment now. When I say nourishment, I mean when you are malnourished as a woman, as a feminine being, and this is what I mean by malnourished. I'm not talking about food. I mean malnourished and you expressing the deeper parts of you that want to come out. Like a lot of women are looking for their man to be able to basically be a woman in a man's body, right? You're looking for a man to nourish you in the way that only a woman can, okay? So the way that you want him to meet you in a particular way, and not saying that a man can't meet you at all. I'm not saying that. Obviously, he has his place, you know. Mesta said, yes, releasing what's been suppressed. Thank you for sharing the live, Asia. Asia. I love the names y'all got up in here. Asia. I see ya. I see ya. Yes. Come on. Get into it. Um, so nourishment is what happens when you get to, Asia. It's pronounced Asia. Okay, Asia. Hey girl. Hey girl. Hey. Thank you for sharing, Josephine. Yay. So when a woman doesn't get a chance to express, in whatever way is her nourishing way to express, that could be art, that could be paint, that could be your makeup, that could be um, uh, that could be right. However, you need to talk. You need to talk, right? Poem, poetry, um, expressing in a way where the person hears you and lets you know that they hear you. But mostly I'm talking about your deeper self, your deeper creative self that wants to have impact in the world, that wants to feel a certain kind of way through that expression, through that art. When that doesn't get to happen, there's a malnourishment that occurs within the being. Another way that you become malnourished is when you're not in connection with your likeness. Now, many of you all are connecting in different ways, right? Maybe you have children, there's a connection there. You have a spouse, there's a connection there. You go pay for at Starbucks, right? And you're paying, and you and the barista have a quick little comical powwow, right? That's a kind of connection. You know, you go to brunch with your girls, assuming that these women don't really see you, right? Because I have clients right now who they have girlfriends, they're going to brunch, but they're not of their likeness. They don't really see them. You know what I'm saying? So assuming that you're in relationships like that, where you have girlfriends who, you know, y'all hang out and all that, but they don't know you, they don't see you, you don't really express, and that's a kind of safety, right? A tense safety, because you're still hiding in that relationship. And so when you have all of these shallow connections everywhere, Josephine said, I'm a loner. Well, when you go pay for your Starbucks, right, you're still a loner, but the point is these shallow connections, right? Mesta said, I feel that. I mean, these shallow connections, right, that are transactional, that are, you know, they stay at a surface kind of level, and you never get met at your deep levels week after week, month after month, year after year, and it just becomes your normal. You become a decrepit in your spirit. You become a decrepit in your even your thought process, because there's a chemical. It's sort of like the endorphins that kick in when you work out. It literally reorients your brain. So just think about when you work out. You have a good workout, a good yoga class. Maybe you go run on the treadmill for 30 minutes. You notice how there's a shift in your brain. Your endorphins kick in, and it literally shifts you chemically. The same thing happens when you're sitting on the floor at Women Gods Gather in Atlanta, March 16th, with this woman who's also always been weird. She's been a loner, she's been strange, she's been called crazy. Ex-boyfriends has told her she's scared of her power. She's been withdrawn from the world. Now she's in this room, and everything that happens to get you into the room starts to open you up, because you're connecting with me and my energy, and you're quietly connecting with all the energy of all the other women who are coming. Okay? And you're on the floor, and there's an opening that happens, and there's a connection that happens that you've never had before. And the way your endorphins will kick in, because you're hugging, because you have received, you see her, she sees you, and there's a receptivity in the way Josephine talked about, because you're open to being seen by her, because this is your likeness. There's endorphins that kick in, because you know so much of the communication is nonverbal. You guys have read that, right? There's so much, 80% of communication is nonverbal. So she sees me, I see her, you talk about something you've never talked about before. She's like, oh my God, me too. She even feels like she can talk about something that she's never talked about before. And so all these endorphins start kicking in, which is the chemical experience that you're having in that environment, similar to the chemical experience you have when you run on the treadmill for 30 minutes, or when you do a really good, powerful yoga class that gets your blood flowing really well. And then that opens you up, and that is a nourishment. It nourishes. Any kind of chemical alteration that lifts you is a nourishment. So yesterday, the video that I put up when I talked about quiet pain, and I talked about, you know, you go into these goddess circles and all these normal people workshops and all that, and they say stuff and you realize, oh God, they're not, we're not the same actually. Right? You know, you thought because it was goddess. You thought because it was Black women gathering, you thought because it was, spirituality and the moon, that this was your likeness. And then you realize, no, not like that. No, I've been, we're different. And because we're so used to disregarding our difference, we think that somehow we can fit into, this is what I mean when I say what we're doing over here is so rare. And this is why I'm talking in detail about it. This is why I'm here longer than 15 minutes. I've already been here 35 minutes. I'm only supposed to be here 15 minutes every weekday. And what I found so often is I think we know. I think we already know. And I find out we don't know. And here's the thing. Here I go. Here I go again. We have trained ourselves to act like we don't know. That's what has happened. We have trained ourselves to act like we don't know. This is why we need hyper connectivity. Hold on. When I first started God Power Live, these are the hot topics I was focusing on. They're still relevant, they're just in the back of things. One of the topics on here to discuss is hyperconnectivity. Number 3 here. Can y'all see that? Hold on, hyperconnectivity. Hyperconnection. Hyperconnectivity. The reason why this is on the list is because this sort of addiction and familiarity we have with being a loner. I think it was Josephine who said, I'm a loner. And how we just have accepted that. So many of us, we just, like, is that how it's supposed to be for you? That's just what it is. 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, you're just a loner. Is that what it is? The goals that you have, like the for real dream, the for real one, is that gonna be brought to life in your loner reality? I'm assuming that you have big dreams that are just sitting, collecting dust, waiting for you to respond to them. So if that's not the case, so be it. But don't you have very specific dreams? Don't you have big goals that are far bigger than you that are going to require people, the right people? And part of those right people is women like you who see you. The reason why hyperconnectivity is on this list, Josephine said, yes, and you are right. Messa said, I've had to tune back into my intuition after trauma. Yes, yeah, that's a whole process. That's a skill right there. The way that you tune back in after trauma, that's content, that's a program, a coaching program, mentoring program right there. Just that one sentence, I can tell that you have a program that you can offer and sell because you have a real world experience with that. Mesta, just FYI, okay? When I say hyperconnectivity, I mean hyperconnectivity, meeting regularly. This is why we're having 3 gatherings in Atlanta, not 1, not 2, we're having 3. 3. I have a 4th one on there. We'll see how that, I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna see how people respond to that. You're welcome, Esther. The reason why Women Gods Gather is global is for hyperconnectivity. The reason why I'm here every weekday is for hyperconnectivity. Getting off the internet and getting into the real world and expressing who you really are with women of your likeness. We're going to be gathering regularly in person. We're starting in Atlanta. Get your tickets today. These conversations of, I don't even want to talk about that right now. So, any questions before I go? I'm happy to take some questions today. With this topic of hyperconnectivity, with the topic of nourishment, and that you're not going to get far without the nourishment. You're not going to get far without the chemical connection. You're not going to get far without being seen, because when you are truly seen and loved and valued and wanted, there's a wake up in you, because a lot of you all have created a really comfortable prison for yourself energetically. Like you just sort of walk through life energetically encased, and your manifestations ain't gonna happen, none of that. So this is about, and this is why it's so valuable over here, because this work that I'm doing is so rare. It's so valuable over here. You're not gonna find this hardly anywhere. I mean, if you do, great, obviously, but I know how rare it is. I know how rare this is. When you're in, whoever that is without a profile photo, I want y'all to start when you see people come in here without a profile photo, please tell them, because I'm gonna stop repeating myself soon. I might repeat a couple more times, but what do I have to say to that person with no profile photo? Hello, divine femme fatale. Hey, girl, your hair is looking blue black. I like it. Blue black. I'm on my way out of here in about 35 seconds, unless there's a question. I look forward to being back here tomorrow, 8 a.m. Pacific. Get your tickets to Black Women Gods Gather. I dropped the black because I want to open it up. I think the black, somebody said something about the whole black thing being a kind of spell, and it's been so poisoned. That's why I want to drop it. So that's why I'm saying women gods. You have a beautiful day too, beautiful. Long live the queen. What's up? What's up? Me likey. Long live the queen. Word up. So this is a vision, y'all. We got a lot of work to do. This is just the beginning. All right, I don't see any questions. Let me see. I got some notifications over here on Facebook. Let me see. Somebody asked a question. Somebody asked a question. Oh, Tanisha, is that, hold on. Hi, Tanisha. Let me come over here and answer Tanisha's question. I got to open up another. I don't even be looking at Facebook because folks don't be showing up to my live, so I don't be paying attention. So let's see if Tanisha got a question over here. Tanisha said, thank you for continuing your mission and knowledge with helping us. I will attend one of the gatherings. Right on. Hey, Tanisha. Oh, my goodness. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look. I think, oh, my goodness. Hi, Tanisha. I so recognize your face. You've been following me for years. I want to say this. Y'all think I'm going to be paying attention? It's amazing how people that I have a client right now. I shared, I hosted a what do you want to call it? It was a super rich, it was called Dark Electricity last year, Dark Electricity, and it was really deep. And she shared something, and this was like maybe summer of last year. And so we were in a session like 2 weeks, maybe last week, I don't know, sometime within the last 2 weeks. And I was sharing with her something that happened then and connecting it to our session last week or so. And she was like, you remember that? Darling, I'm a mentor. I'm in the business of remembering your business and helping you connect the dots and helping you come into your power. Or people who like engage with my content and somehow think I don't notice that I'm paying attention. I'm not just frivolously on the internet. I have a mission. I'm not just like, like somebody I'll be like, yeah, I saw your profile and I saw this video. Really? You? Or like somebody will register for something and I'll call them and I'll be like, you are calling me? What do you think this? I mean, yeah, there's team and right, all that. We're working on more team, right? But darling, please know, this is not a casual, laissez-faire, whatever is whatever is whatever. This is my purpose here on earth, okay? This is grand reason why I exist, why I'm even still breathing and I'm an alive sentient being. This is so rare over here. This is why it's expensive financially, energetically, your quality of presence. I laid it down yesterday with my ladies in Speak. I said, y'all, this is about the relationship. This is far beyond Speak. We are so used to not being met. We are so used to disregarding and discounting ourselves. We are so used to lowering our frequencies. We are so used to bending to the systems that be, that we're so like, wow, when somebody actually treats us as the royalty that we are, that actually remembers who we are, that actually pays attention to who we are, that actually has you value who you are and values you. You have a blessed day as well, Josephine. So just FYI, you know what I mean? I say that because Tanisha, I've been paying attention to you for years. I know, I don't know if you know that, but I see you and I'm like, I see people's faces and I'll just quietly think to myself, oh, she's been around for like 2 years. Like, oh, she's been around for like 6 years. I noticed that. Tanisha said, I'm coming in. Y'all listen, I understand not all fruit of the same tree ripen at the same time. Actually, it's different trees. If you ripening at, this is the fast tree, this is the slow tree. There's no, anyway, we're not about to start breaking down African African boy, y'all, you better get that site together because they done dirtied so many things. Forever. Tanisha said, forever. I know it. And listen, if you move slow, move slow. We ain't talking, listen, if you move fast, move fast. Just tell the truth, right? All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I think I saw Cicely too. Hey, Cicely. All right, I'm out of here. See y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific here on Facebook and here on TikTok. TikTok. TikTok.